Hey guys, it's Rachel from Agave Afro, and we're speaking about veganism and spirituality today because a lot of us have this question in our mind, is there a connection between being vegan and being spiritual? Some people say that you can't be spiritual if you're not a vegan. A lot of spiritual teachers, they tend to be, vegan or vegetarian. There just seems to be a correlation or a link between the two. And I really wanted not to have a debate, but more of a discussion because, part of my own spiritual and vegan journey is just to be more open and to ask more questions about things. So that's what we're going to do in this video. It's definitely no secret that a lot of vegans seem to think that there's a link between being vegan and being spiritual. Also, a lot of spiritual teachers really are huge advocates of the two. And then also a lot of the world's largest religions, they also seem to see a relationship between diet or the type of foods you eat and also how spiritual you are or how connected you are, how awakened or enlightened you are. So there definitely seems to be some kind of link, and obviously I guess because it's about spirituality, science can't really prove or disprove anything, but it's really good just to have open discussions and just to understand the different views. So what I wanted to do is just share, some of the things that I've learned and also, ask you for your opinion as well. So definitely don't forget to leave a comment below and tell me, or just share with everyone else who's watching what you think. Like, is there a link, and what are your own experiences as well? You've probably heard vegans say that as soon as they became vegan or like on their journey into veganism, that they experienced a whole lot of clarity. They felt less depressed and less anxious and less stressed. Their thinking became clearer. They just felt more alert and more energized, just more in touch with their spiritual side. And I've definitely listened to a lot of people's experiences and their journeys because I'm now, I think it's my third month of being vegan, and when I became vegan, to be honest, I didn't experience any kind of spiritual enlightenment or awakening. I think like when I became vegan, it was because I was doing a 21-day detox, and I was really just seeking for spiritual and emotional healing at the time, just to discover who I was as a person and what my purpose and journey is in life, and just to feel happier and more content about myself and about life as well. So I was definitely on the search for some kind of spiritual kind of healing or experience when I was doing the 21-day detox. But I think for me, definitely I became more interested in spiritual things and just life in general and living life on purpose and with more intention. So I think for me, veganism seems to has increased my interest in spiritual things, but I don't think it's necessarily resulted in me becoming more spiritual or awakening my spiritual journey or the spiritual person inside of me. Everyone's journey is obviously different, but let's just have a look into what vegans tend to say about the link between, adopting a plant-based diet and also spirituality. So there definitely seems to be a link between veganism and compassion and sensitivity. We all live on the earth, like we're all earthlings, we're all part of nature, we're all part of one system. We're all so similar, even though we may appear different physically. As well as compassion and being sensitive to animals, there may also be a link between being vegan and energies, being vegan and physical energies, and also being vegan and spiritual energies. Studies have been conducted and research has also shown that the amount of energy our body uses to digest and break down meat is way more than the amount of energy it requires and uses to break down more natural foods such as plants and grains and beans. So our body is having to focus a lot of time and energy energy trying to break down all of those animal products that we're eating. And a lot of vegans and spiritual teachers say that is a complete waste of our body's resources and energy, and instead we should eat simpler foods, so foods that are easier for our body to break down, such as, the plants, the grains, or the natural foods. And then the energy that our body has saved as a result of not having to eat those animal foods, our body can then use that for other things. So for example, it can use that energy to keep us awake longer, and then as a result of that, we will have time and energy to focus on our spiritual journeys. So like praying and meditating, or just going within and like seeking who we are and just trying to find out the meaning of life. So we will end up having more time and more energy to actually focus on our spiritual path and our spiritual journey. Some people believe that when we actually eat dead animals, because of the way they've died, most likely they've gone through so much suffering, so much pain, so much anxiety, so much confusion, all of that negative energy that the animals have experienced right before they died, you actually absorb those negative spiritual energies when you consume those animals. Some vegans say that prior to going vegan, they tended to feel really down and depressed and anxious for no reason whatsoever, and then when they changed their lifestyle and became vegan, they realized that those negative emotions and negative energies, they just disappeared, and they didn't really realize why until they kind of were like, oh, perhaps it's because I'm not, consuming or absorbing those negative energies from the dead animals that I used to eat. So some vegans do believe that, as humans, we have the ability to absorb energies from the things that we eat. And then in the same way as well, eating plants, so eating things that are alive and that are from the earth, you also absorb the energies that those plants and those natural foods have as well. So some people believe that plants and vegetables and these things that grow from the ground, they have a positive energy in them, or they have divine energy, and when we eat them as part of a plant-based diet, we actually absorb those positive energies, and then that may lead to feeling more abundant, feeling more stress-free and more clear and just happier on your journey, because you are now eating a lot of plant-based meals and foods that are alive and living. So a lot of people respect the earth, they respect the soil and Mother Earth because of that, because the earth gives plants and vegetables positive divine energy and all these great nutrients and vitamins, and then when we eat those things, we absorb those positive energies, we absorb those positive nutrients, and that in turn enhances our own spirituality. And then there's also the possibility that like attracts like, and that may also have an influence or an impact in being vegan and your spiritual journey as well. The like attracts like theory says that all the negative energy that is in these dead animals, that actually attracts other negative energy towards it as well, and end up creating even more negative energy. So for example, if you have if you eat meat and it's on your plate, and then you yourself have a lot of negative energy inside of you for whatever reason, the negative energy inside that piece of meat or fish or whatever it is on your plate is attracted to the negative energy inside of you, and it attracts to each other and ends up creating a whole spiral of even more negative energy. So eliminating that negative energy from your diet means just less negative energy that you will be experiencing, and negative experiences that you will be experiencing in your life as well. There have been some studies that have looked into this. I can't say the word, so I'm going to put it below. There have been some studies that have looked into this to some extent. So who knows, perhaps the negative energy on your plate may be attracting the negative energy that you already have inside of you, and you know, just creating more and more negative energy or experiences in your life. Who really knows? All these theories are interesting. You know, it's definitely good to just have a think about things and just be open to possibilities and be open to hearing different views. You don't have to believe any of this, but it definitely, I feel it's worthwhile to just consider things and just to listen or hear people's stories and experiences, and just to also just watch out for things or changes in your own life and try and see if you find any correlations, you know, or things that may be impacting your spiritual journey or your spiritual path in a really good way. So yeah, so let me know if any of these theories or beliefs resonate with you, if you've experienced them in your own life, if you are vegan or thinking about becoming vegan and you really want to use it as a tool to help you develop your spirituality or your connection to God or yourself. Share them in the comment section below. In my next video as well, I'll be sharing a bit more about, you know, how I guess religions view the importance of diet and how that can potentially impact your spiritual path or your spiritual journey. Keep a lookout for that. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Also like this video if you've liked it as well, and follow me on Instagram as well because I post a lot more on there too. So yeah, so I will see you soon. So take care and God bless. Peace.